Yo, 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 yo. This is episode 6 of Indigo's Corner. We have another South Carolina artist in the building today.
Yes,
Give it
sir.
up for Mo.et. Mo.et, I pronounced it right?
Yeah, you got it right,
All right,
man.
word. What you do? What's good with you, man?
Not much, man. I've just been working on stuff, working on the releases. Just dropped these teas, by the way.
Them joints
So
fire. I saw him. I
yeah,
saw him online. Them joints fire. I'm definitely
I
gonna have to get
appreciate
them in
you.
the cart. Word. So, how I always do, man, I like to start from the background. I see you from North Augusta. How was it
Yeah,
like
yes,
growing
sir.
up there, man?
It was cool, man. It's like we right on the border of Georgia too. So whenever I tell people that, they be like, Georgia? Like that's Georgia? I'm like, nah, it's South Carolina.
Mhm.
It's really like north of Augusta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, it's cool, man. Like real laid back. We have an interesting like breed of people from North Augusta. Like it'd be hard for me to explain, but people from here is like I don't know anybody else like that. You know.
Mhm. So, did you spend most of your time in South Carolina or more in Georgia? Or it was kind of like
Um.
50-50?
Well, like I actually lived in South Carolina. And my people's from South Carolina. Like my
Mm.
pops side of family from Charleston, and
Oh,
my mama's side of family from Columbia. So the reason we are from here, like me and my siblings,
mhm.
because my mom's got a job down here. So we had moved down here when we was kids. But yeah. So
Okay.
between I spent a fair share in Augusta, like in Georgia too though.
Okay. Word. So, when did you get into music? Like, was it from a young age, or what got you into it?
Um, I was always like into music as far as listening to music. Like I've come from a musical household and grew up in church and stuff like that. But as far as making music, I didn't start that till I was in college. So maybe 2016 is when I started doing music. Um, yeah, but like I said, grew up in the church. Like me and my brothers, all of us like we're singers and shit. But
Mhm.
yeah,
So, what
I
was the
just started.
interest growing up? What was like some of the hobbies or interests that you had other than that?
Um, I used to play basketball, like playing sports as a kid.
Hmm.
It used to be fun. I used to play video game stuff. I really don't play video games no more like that.
Uh,
Like I'll play with people, like
mhm.
play. Somebody got 2K at their crib, I'll play. But I don't play on my own time like that. But yeah, man. Typical kid stuff.
Word. So, when you got to school, what school did you go to?
My first 2 years, I went to USC Aiken, the branch in Aiken,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
was where it's crazy because I met like my main engineer, and like co-producer Bonnie. He went to USC, but he's from Aiken, and the reason I met him and he got me into started to do music, like started recording and trying to make beats and stuff. Um, my roommate was his neighbor, so he was like, "Yo,
Okay.
like you can sing a little bit, bro. Like you need to get with my homie, like well my neighbor, like he be producing and all that." So I was like whatever. I wasn't thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about doing no
Mhm.
music, man. But when I first started doing it, it was like it felt like natural. Like it felt like that was something I needed to be doing. So
Mhm. So it never like, even though like you can sing, like it never was just like a, damn, I need to record something until like that moment.
um I say, man, like I ain't even really take singing serious
Mhm.
until like maybe 2, 3 years ago. Like I wasn't even trying to like sing for it. Like when I first started, I was like trying to rap on songs and trying to make beats, man. I wasn't even but like I grew up singing like in church and my brothers were singing. And I think like my brothers were like they're really good singers. So I think it kind of like I don't want to do that because they already known like around my area for doing that, like my city and shit. So I was like, I'm gonna try to do something else. Feel me? Like I wanted to
Mhm.
like I'm all about like being an individual, being true to self and really trying to make my own way. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
don't like to feel like I'm following up behind anybody. So
Mhm.
um yeah, I wasn't thinking about it, but you know, it's just a natural thing to me. So like as I was going along my journey, it was like, why am I not doing it? You
I
know?
feel that. I feel that. So when you got into your bag, what were some like inspirations that you like drew from? Like any other artists, even family? Like where'd your inspiration come from?
Um well my biggest influences in music. So my pops, he's like old school. So I grew up listening to nothing but like old R&B and like
That's
the
so
real soul music,
yeah.
and even like at that time period we was listening to neo soul and like 90s R&B, and you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
a lot of my influence comes from that old vintage sound, like of Stevie Wonder is one of my greatest, like one of my favorite artists ever. Marvin Gaye, um, Earth, Wind and Fire, like Ozzy Brothers, like all that era of
Mhm.
music, like the 70s, 80s, even like 90s, all that is like my biggest foundation.
Okay. And listening to your music, man, I don't know. I see you nominated for Jet Lag for R&B artists, but just listen right around, listen to your music. I wouldn't even put you in like an R&B category, man. I don't even know like where you would fit in. Well, how do you
Hey
categorize
man,
yourself?
hey, it's crazy. When I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. Cause I was like, I didn't even drop a full R&B project, but like, I haven't even done that yet. I
Mhm.
plan to do it, but I haven't done it yet. And I'm just like, well, I'm already, you know what I'm saying? Like they
I'm here.
already think that. So, hey, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's not like I'm trying to be the best singer, the best like rapper. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
I'm trying to just I'm just the artist. Like I just do whatever I feel is necessary on a particular, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what
Mhm.
I'm gonna do song to song. It's
Mhm.
just as the song hits me, I like do what I feel like I have to do, or you know, to make the song what it needs to be.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't consider myself just like an R&B artist. I'm definitely like multifaceted, but you know, I still
Mhm.
appreciate it. For sure,
Yes.
I still appreciate it.
And I think now with music, it's kind of like it's finally done hit that peak where everybody just kind of can do what they want to do with
Yeah,
music.
and I
So
love that.
yeah, it's nice. It's really really nice. You get good music from it. So if just like you playing your tape for somebody, what do you want somebody to like draw from your tape? Like what do you want them to feel when they listen to you?
Um, well, I think of music as like a door of expression into the artist. So when somebody's making music from who they really are, it's like it feels different. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
music is all energy based. It's all like feeling anyway. So my ultimate goal is to give you every type of feeling, every type of emotion, every type of thought process that I possibly can, just from my own experiences, and just how I feel on a given day. So if I feel like I need to talk about this, then I'll talk about this. And I just know, like, everything ain't for everybody, but somebody might need to hear it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to make like the upbeat, the feel good songs. I definitely like, I'm all for that. And I have like those in the chamber, which
Mm-hmm.
I plan to like release over time. But I also want to talk about like real life, like my own personal experiences, my own downfalls, my own, the good, bad, the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I just want to leave a piece of myself for people to
Mm-hmm.
like listen to ultimately.
Word, that's dope. That's dope. So where do you go for like your creative space? Like what's your I guess like do you have like a ritual or like a superstition about when you like get in your bag or process?
No, I don't. Like I
At all?
just, I don't know, like, um, I don't know, it's an everyday thing for me for real. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's really where the wind blows. Like I'll wake up one day and be like, okay, I want to do this. And like I always had a problem with like sticking with one thing in life. Like that's one of my biggest things. So with music, I wouldn't have been able to do this like this if I wasn't like constantly choosing like different things to do to keep my mind occupied. Cause I'm like a bit of a scatterbrain, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So if I don't feel like writing one day, I'm not limited to having to be able to write. Like I can go do something else. I can produce. I can try to play instruments, learn more about instruments. I can, um, I can just write, rap, do whatever on a given day, just depending
Mm-hmm.
on how I feel. That's how I stay consistent with music. Like keep myself on my toes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a ritual though. Um, I don't know. I don't have a ritual, I don't think, but I try to wake up and like make something when I wake up, if that's what you want to consider like a routine.
Okay, word, word, word. So how do you feel about the the wave of SC artists. I mean, we've always been kind of frowned upon with artists. There's not that many that make it out, but I believe now we're kind of like peaking. It's a new SC artist every place and like really really good artists. So how do you feel about that?
Um, I love it personally. I love the fact that because there is a lot of talent here, and I feel like
A lot.
um, just as a state in general, we've been slept on for a long time in a lot of different ways, and people think like we're just behind or whatever, but it's a
Mhm.
lot of different flavors here. It's a lot of different, like it's not just what you might hear that's like popular from here, but it's a lot of different flavors and subgenres here that from people I know personally. And I think one of my biggest goals, I'm trying to network across, what I
Mhm.
mean? Instead of like focusing so much on, hey, like, looking up to these people who are already in the industry. I'm trying to network across and really find like the talented people around me to really build my catalog with, because it's like I'm good at like putting people in spaces for them to be great versions of themselves. Like
Mhm.
I want you to be, if I get on this track, I'm not worried about you, outshine it. Some rappers
Yeah,
just
I
like,
got you. Yeah, yeah,
don't try to kill me on my own
yeah,
song.
yeah.
I don't care. Like I'm just like,
Do
yo,
your thing.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
I'm trying to put you in the best position for you to shine. Like this beat, I chose it because I feel like you would body. You know what I mean? Or like
Hmm.
I sent you this particular beat because I felt like that's your element and you can really thrive in that. Like I don't really care. I'm trying to make the best music possible.
Word.
I don't have
Mhm.
those type of insecurities.
That's dope. Yeah, yeah. So, how I want to ask you this question too, because it's kind of like I guess, a stereotype thing that if you can make a good beat, most of the time you can't make good music like rap or sing and stuff like that. But how did you find the balance of being a good artist and a great artist and a great producer, in my opinion?
Um, well, I wasn't, like some things it's like you can have an ear for things. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people with an ear that don't know like the technicalities of it.
Hmm.
So with me, it was like when I first started, I didn't, I could like, it's like I knew what I wanted to say and I knew what sounded good, but I
Hmm.
didn't know how to like make it all make sense. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it just take that repetition and take that like really that time and really putting that effort into learning more about yourself, like and what the story you want to tell and what you want to give. Because a lot of people they're just trying to like follow a formula
Hmm.
or just like do what they see other people doing and like, okay, I know that this is hot right now, so I'm gonna try to do this. But I try to do what's true to me because that's what's gonna translate the most, and that's what's gonna make people feel like this person is different. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Instead of trying to, because if I'm doing what somebody else is doing, I'm not gonna. First of all, I don't think I can do it as good as them because I'm not them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's really them, and they're doing it. So I'm just trying to be the best, like me that I, when it comes to it. So with the producing, I honestly think I didn't start taking producing series till like maybe last year,
Hmm.
either last year or 2 years ago. That's when I started like really taking producing serious. But I started getting consistent with it, um, really like in the past year.
Hmm.
So like really waking up and being like, okay, I'm gonna make at least X amount of beats a day. I'm gonna really try to figure out how to make everything sound good and learn about myself, like what I want things to sound like. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I got better at producing. I was a better artist before I was a better producer.
And was it all mostly like self-taught, or like you sat down with like your engineer now and you just kind of like paid close attention, or it was more self-taught?
Um, I Now as far as artists and stuff like that was pretty much self taught. That was pretty much just
Oh yeah, no, I mean like the producing
repetition. But the
side of it.
producing side,
Yeah. Hmm.
um, see, the thing is, it's like with Bunny, he was like showing me. He kind of like showed me, tips. He keeps me in the loop on tips and like telling me along the way. He was like, yeah, you just need to do this and do this and do this. But it's like it's different like when somebody tells you what you need to do versus like you really getting it for yourself.
Hmm.
Because it's like I knew what I needed, but I just didn't know how to do it. So um I say around last year, around August, September, I ended up like going through a lot of things and ended up coming back to North Augusta. So during that time, I felt like I was kind of isolated, like on an island, because I had built so much um, in Columbia area, like with people around, just being able to be like, okay, I'm gonna go to this person, go to this studio today, go to, work with this person. But once I got to North Augusta, it was like I was forced to be still, and because of COVID, I was forced to be still and just really lock in on, the process of really learning what I'm trying to do. And that's why like my beats have come such a long way in the past year. Like I just know what I'm doing now more so than I did because I spent that time. Like I told you, I don't really play video games like that. I don't really watch TV like that.
You just locked
Um,
in.
yeah, man, all the time. Like now I just try to keep it going. I'm trying to like, branch out, get my beats placed with more people, just keep learning, man. That's what it's all about.
So last year, Retro Mo.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that? Cover art fire, by the way. That I saw it.
Hey man,
That cover
I
art is fire.
hey, shout out Black Girl Fly. That's my cousin, man. She be doing
Word.
all my artwork.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, she goes crazy. She's an artist, visual artist, like painter,
Yeah.
graphic designer, all that.
Mhm.
So the inspiration behind Retro Mode, okay, coming off of Waitlist, which is my first ever project.
Mhm.
Retro Mode was like, to me, I was like, okay, so Waitlist, it was cold. It was like a cold feeling. You know what I mean? It was just like the beats were very cohesive. The sound was cohesive. It was just kind of like a getting a weight off my chest type of EP, which is why I called it Waitlist.
Yeah.
So following up Retro Mode, I was like, okay, well, let's go towards who I really am and what I really want to convey. And it was like, I don't want to really make the old vintage music yet, but I want to give my interpretation of it. So that's kind of how that came about. So it doesn't really sound vintage per se, but it's like it has that aura to it.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like an evolutionary thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the inspiration behind it was just simply, I don't. How can I? What's the best way for me to make this make sense? Like I want to give a few different vibes, but how do I make it all make sense? And that was pretty much the inspiration behind that.
Word. I ain't gonna lie. I got down to. I listened through to Aquafina. And I was just like, man, hold on. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. I ended up going back and
Man,
starting
that's the
over.
second track, man.
No,
You made it.
oh
No, no,
no.
no. It's the third. It's the
Yeah, that's the
third
third.
track.
That's
It's
the
the third.
third
It's
one
the
on there.
third.
Yeah, I got to it. I was like, hold on, I gotta go back. I gotta go back. But it's definitely something I think you can play in the house at a kickback. You can play in a car. You can play any place. It has good like playback value. Like I believe 10 years from now you can go back and play. It's a really really dope project. The
I
song I do want
appreciate
to
it.
ask you about is Replay. How did you feel? And is it Recise?
I think it's just Reese. I think it's
Reese?
just Reese.
Okay,
I've
okay.
asked her that same question. Like,
Mhm.
yo, is it like? But she said it's Reese.
Reese.
So,
All right. So that's probably my favorite song off of there. How did that come about?
um, okay. So me and Vonnie used to like stay in the same apartment. I don't know if you from Columbia
Yeah, I'm from
by
Columbia.
chance?
Mhm.
Okay, so you know Copper Beach.
Oh
You
yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
USC
So
Copper
I
Beach. Yeah.
stay in Copper Beach. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I transferred to USC my second year after my second year in college, and me and Vonnie lived together in Copper Beach. So we used to just he lived downstairs, so it was like, yeah, I come down there, we cook out, do whatever. Um, we had like a YouTube page where we used to make beats and all too, and with replay video, I don't know what the inspiration was behind it. I think it might have just been like D'Angelo or something. Like
Mhm.
we were just like, hey, you want to make? We just used to be so random like with the creative process, and I'm still like that. But we made that beat, and I didn't even do anything on it for like a long time. But
Mhm.
I just randomly, sometimes I'll just randomly go back to beats, and then I'll have something to talk about on it. That was the same thing with Dope Man
Mhm.
beat, but with that song, I did that, and I met Phil maybe 2017 and Renee in 2017. So Um, I know that Phil has that soulful background. One of his
Yeah.
favorite artists is D'Angelo,
Mhm.
and I just went to them because I felt like they could deliver.
Yeah.
Originally, it was just Phil, but I was like, yo, I think this needs like something else. It needs something else. And Renasia is like, well, Reese, she's really like a jazzy type of singer. She had that type of foundation. So I was like, I think we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was there one day.
Yeah.
She was over at the studio one day, and I was just like, yo, get it. I was like, get in there and just do some layers, like do
Mhm.
some scatting or whatever.
Yeah.
And she went in there in one take, and I was like,
That's it.
we got one.
It's a
We
wrap.
got one.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And shout out to Phil. I grew up with Phil. Our families grew up in church together and everything. So yeah,
Oh,
when I
okay.
saw his name, when I was like, okay, let me see what Phil talking about. And it was a hell of a dope track. Hell of a dope track. You got any more upcoming projects coming up,
Uh,
or
yeah,
any you can
actually.
talk about?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm kind of weird about stuff though, because like
Hmm.
it's not like I'm top secret about it. Like somebody asks me, I'll tell you, but like I'm not just like, oh, I'm doing this, y'all. I'm working on this.
Yeah, I got
Like
you. I got you.
um, this year, I do want to drop an EP. I'm dropping like a EP. I don't know how many songs it's gonna be, but it's at least gonna be 5. And I'm probably gonna drop like maybe another song this summer or something.
Hmm.
But we'll see how like Deja Vu goes. But I'm also like working with other people as far as like producing, and people hit me up for features and stuff. So I'm just happy to be here, man. I ain't really scratched the surface of where we want to go to yet, but
Hmm.
I'm just happy to be here for real.
This is one of my famous questions I ask everybody on the show about like their different moment. But when was your like you would listen to a song, you was like, oh shit, like I can really do this. Like I can really like entertain and like make good music. When was that for you?
Man, that was a long time ago when I
Mm-hmm.
felt like that. That was before I ever like really dropped you. Like that was before I ever really dropped the project. I knew like just from the growth and development, I was like, okay, now I know like I ain't exactly where I want to be right now or where I need to be, but this is good. Like it's good music. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I would listen to this if it wasn't me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's like so I think I hit that point maybe 20 maybe 2017, 2016. So like maybe a year or so in, I was like, okay, I can do this consistently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
like, some people can make one good song that you like and it's just like, oh yeah, I like this song, but then they try to follow up and it ain't hitting on nothing. I was like, nah, I can do this consistently because I'm doing so many different kinds of like beats and stuff that I know that I know I can do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it took. I'm kind of a perfectionist. Not even kind of I am, but um, I don't know, man. Like weight. That's why I said weightless felt like I was taking a weight off my chest because I had been making music for like 2, 3 years, but I hadn't really dropped anything official because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel ready. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like it was ready. But weightless was the first solid thing where I felt like, okay, this is something.
Mm-hmm.
This is just what I need to get like off my chest. So now, because I talked about a lot of vulnerable things, and what I'm saying, so it was just like this is something to get off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can go forward, and I won't have any pressure when it comes to dropping, like, cause I'll know when it's ready.
All right. And speaking of getting stuff off your chest, how do you feel about like now, like as an artist, like I would say back in the day, it was all about, who's the hardest, the coolest, and all that. But now you get music where people are like just being vulnerable, talking about pain, talking about depression, things like that. Is that making music better in your opinion?
Um, I think that well, there's always been songs where people been like, really putting pain and stuff in music. And they say that pain is the best inspiration when it comes to making music
Yeah. Hmm.
because it's so raw, like it's such a raw feeling and emotion that it translates so easy into words. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't think it's like making music any worse, but I do think people should be careful
Hmm.
because music is not just like, okay, I'm recording a song, it's nothing. Music is really there, like it's really a living thing. like you notice how a lot of people are seemingly obsessed with death in their songs, like them dying. It ends up happening, and they be young, and it's like, dang, like you know what I mean? Like everybody, like, dang, that's so crazy. But I'm like, they're they were kind of manifesting, you know what I mean? Like all this time, and we're listening to it and just like, oh yeah, this is a good song, but like people really be going through it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Manifestation is a very, very powerful word. Very, very
Yeah.
powerful word. I feel that. All right. In each episode, I can give you 3 categories, and I need your top 3 in each category. All right.
Okay.
My first 3
I'll
for
try.
you. Your top 3 places to eat in North Augusta.
Man, man, North Augusta, like, it's a lot of, for some reason, it's a small city, but it's a lot of places to eat. Like, it's not much like unique things here, but it's like a lot of chains, like a lot of food chains, but it's like a big food court.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
I just need 3. That's it.
okay, I'm gonna try to shout out some black owned business.
Okay.
Shout out to my guys down at Fatbacks, man. They got a food truck. They be serving up wings, burgers, all that, man. That's
Okay.
always good.
Can't go wrong with a food truck.
Yeah, then we got Deshaun Seafood.
Okay.
That's pretty good place. They be jumping. Man. I don't know. I ain't been tapped into North Augusta for a while. Like I came back home, but I literally hadn't been home for years before that. So it's been like a lot of changes here. I don't know, man. I might skip that 3.
Okay. All right. I'll take the 2. All right. My next one for you is your top 3 soul artists.
Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. You mean like personal favorites? Because I can't.
Yeah, your personal
it's hard
favorites.
to put
yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, no, I never asked you for that.
Yeah,
but
put
your
like who the
personal
actual
favorites.
best, you know what I'm saying? Does it have to be artists or can it be bands too?
It can be band too. Yeah.
Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. Sheesh, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, somebody ain't gonna make it.
You gotta give me 5 at least. Like, bro, that's kind of hard, bro. That's kind of hard to do.
You just gotta do 3. I
That's
just need
hard,
one more
bro.
from you.
Man, I don't know. I don't think you can really, as far as bands, I don't think you can really get better than Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
As far as soul, like,
Yeah.
because they talked about everything, man. It was like you got the Ozzy Brothers are iconic. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people like that, but their songs are more about like, well, they have versatile songs too. They've been making music for 50 years, but Earth, Wind, and Fire really was on some spirituality. And when you listen to their songs, it's like it gets so deep.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like musically, I just can't really put no other band above them. But yeah, I can't.
All right. And I noticed I see like a lot of your photo shoots you be dressing and everything. So I just need your top 3 clothing lines.
Hold on. Man, I'll be thrifting, dog. Like, yeah, that's the only way I can really find like what I. Because to me, it ain't really about the brand. It's like the look.
Okay, well, change that.
Oh, look, I'm doing it. All right, that's my brother right there.
No, all right, I'm gonna change the question then. What's your top 3 thrift stores you ever been to?
Man, the OG is Goodwill, dog. Like, the wheel be holding it down. Yeah. But it's like playing Russian roulette, though. You never know what you're gonna find in there.
It is, yeah.
But I just went to this thrift store. We went to Denver like last weekend, and I went to this thrift store. It was really dope. They had like vinyls and stuff like that. It was like downtown Denver. I forget what it was called though.
That's dope.
I don't know, like Ragorama and Little 5 Points. I can't really think of too many different kinds of thrift stores, but like, you know, like I said, Goodwill gonna hold it down, man. You find you a good one in a good area.
every time I go out of state, I try to find a Goodwill just to go look. You
Yeah,
never
man.
know.
Like go
Yeah.
out to New York, bro. Like went to
Mm-hmm.
Queens and found some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got one more thing to ask you about now. I did an interview with BJ, and so I hit her up and asked if she had any like funny stories, anything about you, and she told me to ask you about her TikTok and y'all song.
Oh, about the panty joint.
Yeah.
All right, so I looked at her story one day, and
Mhm.
she posted like one of her TikToks. She was like, "I got cute, not to do a damn thing, and nowhere to go because we in the panty in the car playing around." I'm just like, I'm like, okay. I hit her. I said, "Yo, like that could be a crazy hook if we do it, but we got to do it like now before the vaccine get circulating and we out
Yeah.
of this pandemic." I was like, "We got to do it now." I was like, "I will make the beat." She was like, "Don't play with me." I was like, "I'm not playing. I would do it right now." I made that beat in like 20 minutes,
That's
and then
exactly what she said.
yeah, and then I sent it to her. She was like, "Oh, hold up now, like." You know what I'm saying? She's like, "Hold up now, why my leg moving?" Like, why? She's like, "Why my leg moving?" I was like, "Man, look, BJ, you just do what you got to do."
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And she went above and beyond on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how
Mhm.
that came about.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Well, that concludes the interview I got for you, man. The floor is yours. Shout out anything you want to, anybody. It's all you, man.
Hey man, shout out to Fade. That's my collective. Um, yeah, man, we trying to take it above and beyond, man. So stay tuned. Just dropped a song called Deja Vu on all streaming platforms. Just drop these teas if you want to support a local artist. You know what I'm
Get your
saying?
merch. Get your merch.
Yeah, man. Look nice too, like on body. You know what I'm saying? Because some stuff don't translate,
Yeah.
but it look nice on body. So yeah, man. Just holla at me, man. I'm down to work any artist that's really about it. You know what I'm saying? Any producers, I'm ready to co-produce, do whatever. So yeah, just get at me.
Word, word, word. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.